Both videos today are both near and dear to my heart for similar reasons. If you've been watching my channel for any long period of time, you know there's nothing that grinds my gears more than hypocrisy and double standards. About 1 week ago, the story about Momokun, a cosplayer who had been caught on film several times putting her hands on women and men in an unapproved manner, in a public manner, exposing other cosplayers' chests in front of crowds of people. All of this stuff broke, and hardly anybody talked about it. That's the exact example of a double standard. The anger I feel when this sort of thing happens, I mean, let's be honest. If I was going around, I mean, I'm going to show you some video footage. I'm not being inflammatory here. I'm not exaggerating. I'm going to show you. If I was going around grabbing women's chests, grabbing men's ass on camera while working for somebody at the convention, do you think I would ever be allowed in another cosplay convention ever? I mean, I'm literally banned for life for tweeting mean memes at other Magic players in the community. I'm banned for life from attending any sanctioned Magic the Gathering event for that. Now imagine I'm at a Magic the Gathering event and I'm grabbing cosplayers' chests or just groping men, like while live streaming on Twitch. Nobody cared. This has been happening for what it looks like to be years. And I wasn't going to make a video on it because I thought that it had been properly covered by other people in the space. But then she released one of the worst apologies I've ever seen today. And that's what this video is going to focus on. This is a woman that wants you to believe that groping other women is a side effect of ADHD. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yes.
Hi, man. What if I, like, touch his butt? A little bit, but it's okay. I wanted to lightly know that you were in the way. I was like, let me give you a soft caressing hand. Yes. No, I didn't. I grabbed his butt. If I was grabbing dick, it'd be a lot different. I'm talking to her. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I hate myself. I'm really scared. A photo mommy.
Don't do it.
It's happening.
Yes.
Ooh, they're squishy. Yeah, they're squishy today.
Hey, this is still Twitch, guys.
Is it live? Yes.
And look, I mean, as somebody who preaches cosplay is not consent and is constantly virtue signaling about her religion and her Muslimness or whatever, it's very interesting to see this type of behavior. And there is probably 5 or 10 other people on the main Twitter thread talking about her pulling their shirt down, this sort of thing, with all these different events caught on video, including this one yelling ching chong, ching ching chong at an Asian cosplayer.
On around.
Can you shut up?
I see the person with my thing.
Ching chong, ching ching chong. Hell yeah.
This is pretty awesome. I didn't think I'd find Momokun over here. I've seen her over on Facebook. If you guys get a chance to look her up on Facebook.
Now, I could go on to catalog the many other public instances of people coming forward and being inappropriately touched by this woman who makes over 6 figures a year on Patreon cosplaying. And there is some level of dogpiling, I think, that's going on by other cosplayers in the community. I think it might be fair to say that some people might be jealous of her following and of her high earnings and her getting certain jobs. It's curious, just like with the Me Too movement, how 20 or so people come forward publicly at the same time as opposed to not saying anything in years past. But the point of this video is to laugh at her saying that ADHD is an excuse for her behavior, and also to enjoy the absolute train wreck that was her, of course, monetized apology video, which dropped today.
Context. And, you know, sometimes I'm very, like, handsy and touchy with friends, and I get a little crazy and immature. And few years ago, clearly that's what I was doing. Sometimes I get a little like crazy, and I think a lot of it has to do with like having ADHD and like not being able to control myself sometimes.
That's right, folks. ADHD is what's causing her to randomly assault her coworkers as well as fans. Now, look, before we get into the apology video, I want to be very clear that this woman is probably not an evil monster. Is she a hypocrite? Clearly. Is she a grifter? Probably. But I just like to point out when there is hypocrisy and double standards. Clearly, if this had been a man who had behaved like this, not only would he have been completely exiled from the community and the convention scene years ago, they would be publicly shamed and probably facing some sort of criminal charges. Yet, because a woman does it, nobody seems to care, including Momokun, who continues to not take any responsibility, views herself as a martyr, and of course, it's just haters, not her fault.
Hi there, my name is Mariah. I do cosplay on the internet, and recently some stuff has happened where I believe there's a response needed from me.
Make no mistake about it, her physical appearance was calculated. The no makeup, disheveled look is designed to garner empathy from the viewer.
I have always been an impulsive person, no matter what it's been, and it's gotten me into more trouble than I'd like to admit. I've been like that since I was a kid. I just act without thinking sometimes. I get excited, I get overwhelmed. That's just how I am as a person. Impulsive actions have never been met with malicious intent. I have never meant to ever be malicious with any action that I cause or that I do. I'm a very loving person, and I really love people and genuinely care about people.
Right. I'm impulsive too. I oftentimes will buy a Red Bull while I'm at the gas station, or maybe I'll buy a video game I probably didn't think I needed. Certainly, my impulsion has never led me to groping females and males. And also, notice how she's holding back a smirk like the entire time. You can tell she thinks this whole thing is a joke. She is not remorseful at all. And this is Jake Paul levels of hilarity in terms of a true apology.
But there's many times where I have mixed close friendships and my relationships and boundaries with those people with people who are not close friendships and more so acquaintances.
See, kind of like, here's where you fuck up, my friend. Did you think that complete stranger, someone you acknowledged as a complete stranger when you grabbed his ass, did you think he was an acquaintance? No, clearly you didn't know that person. What about that person that walked up to photobomb and you grabbed her breast? Was that just an acquaintance that you confused as a long, close personal friend? A friend that would be okay with you grabbing her publicly? Now, certainly, I don't think it's a big deal to happen between two friends, but that is not the standard that exists, especially the one set forth and constantly reinforced for cosplay.
Within the last year, I've come to learn so much about what consent is and boundaries after entering the costume community or the nerd community.
Recent events, including video footage, would speak otherwise.
Where everyone is very touchy and very over exaggerated, everything's really crazy. I took some time for me to learn what is okay, what's not okay, who you can do certain things with and who you can't do certain things with.
So let me get this straight. You admit that you're not really a part of the fandom and that you're new to the nerd world. And then you take the liberty to blame us. You blame our community by saying, well, you guys are just so wacky. I thought I could just grab a tit here or there. I didn't know that wasn't okay. And also, I'm curious, what community were you a part of beforehand where grabbing a random person's boob was okay, and us weirdo nerd people were just so out there that it took you so long to adjust to that being the type of behavior that is approved of outside of maybe the strip club?
To touch someone without their consent, there's no excuse. Don't touch anyone without their consent.
You have edits in this video. You have cuts in this video. Yet you left in openly laughing about the situation and smiling as if you know you're just doing this to appease the hate mob, which I can understand. I've been there. But you expect people to take this apology seriously when you're laughing at probably the most critical point in the video, proving that you, Momokun, are literally the definition of female privilege. I fully expect you to be back cosplaying very soon because the world seems to forget when the situations are reversed.